Oh, and by the way, Boehner Bronco Buster?
Yeah.
Where the hell did that come from?
Improv.
That was wonderful.
What's up, guys? If you're watching this, hopefully you already watched my video fantasy booking the men's Royal Rumble. All you really need to know is I'm super excited for the Rumble, and while the men's match is being called one of the best of all time, I think the women's has the potential to be just as good. Alright, no reason to waste any more time, let's just jump straight into this match. We're going to start things off with the Women's United States and Intercontinental Champions, Chelsea Green and Lyra Valkyria. I think starting with both mid-card champions is a great way to showcase them and really just give them some shine. Speaking of champions, number 3 is the NXT champion, Julia. I think Julia is 100% entering the Rumble, and we now have 3 champions all in the ring. I wonder why. Well, number 4 is Jordynne Grace. I fully believe Jordynne Grace has signed with WWE, and I think having her come out right here is a great way to introduce her as an official member of the WWE roster. We also have 3 champions in the ring, and I want this to be a moment that leaves us thinking, who is Jordynne going to go after? Is she going to start in NXT, or are we sending her straight to the main roster? Number 5 is Nikki Cross, and I won't get into it too much, but I have been so disappointed by all the Wyatt 6 stuff. So number 6 is going to be the returning Alexa Bliss. Now, I don't want Alexa to be involved in the Wyatt stuff at all, so she's just going to come out, have a quick stare down with Nikki Cross, before quickly eliminating her. At this point, we've already had a few pretty big names and big surprises, so we're going to slow things down a little with Piper Niven, Isla Dawn, and Katana Chance, before we get to another big name at number 10, Io Sky. Io is one of the favorites to win this match, and I think deservedly so. You know, I could see her winning and going to face Rhea Ripley or even Tiffany Stratton, but for now, she's going to come out and eliminate Isla Dawn. This Rumble has a lot of big names, but it also has a lot of filler, so we're going to get some of those names out of the way now. Zoe Stark, Zelina Vega, and Alba Fyre all enter the match. During this sequence, we will see 3 more eliminations. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven will work together to eliminate Katana Chance, but while they're celebrating, Jordynne Grace will come up behind them and throw both of them out. Number 14 is the winner of last year's Royal Rumble, Bayley. Bayley runs down and lays a couple women out before coming face to face with Io Sky in a moment similar to the WrestleMania build-up. They go to strike each other but stop when they see who it is. Both women let their guards down but are still face to face when Julia stands in between them. As this is happening, number 15 comes out and it's Roxanne Perez, which sort of breaks this moment up. Bayley and Roxanne fight while Io and Julia fight. Meanwhile, Zelina Vega is thrown out by Jordynne Grace, who is just racking up eliminations at this point. Number 16 is Raquel Rodriguez, and 17 is Liv Morgan. The 2 women immediately start to work together to clean house a little bit. Together they eliminate Alba Fyre, Lyra Valkyria, and Alexa Bliss. I'm not too sure what Alexa's first feud should be, but this elimination could set that up, if we want. Next is Bianca Belair, who comes out and is able to stop the domination that Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez were having, but she doesn't eliminate either woman. Number 19 is Shayna Baszler, and number 20 is Asuka. I usually don't like predicting returns from injury, but I feel pretty confident Asuka will be back, so I'm okay with taking that chance. But before we get to number 21, we have 2 more eliminations, as Julia throws out Zoe Stark before she herself is eliminated by Asuka, which should just be a pretty cool moment. Number 21 is Sonya Deville, who I really didn't want to include. Trust me, I would have way rather had Masha Slamovich, but I really think the TNA partnership is going to be with NXT only. Number 22 is Ivy Nile, 23 is Candice LeRae, and 24 is Charlotte Flair. Believe it or not, I'm a big fan of Charlotte and have seriously missed her while she's been gone with injury. Charlotte gets 2 eliminations right off the bat by throwing out Shayna Baszler and Sonya Deville. After that, I would have Charlotte stare down with Jordynne Grace, because that would just be so cool. I'm down for Charlotte vs Tiffany at Mania, but if we don't get that, give me this match. Before the next entrant, Bayley is finally going to throw out Roxanne Perez. Now, I would be okay with Roxanne, being the one to eliminate Bayley, but I actually have some bigger plans for Bayley in this match, so she has to stay put. Next we have Dakota Kai, Natalya, and Mia Yim. So all of Damage Control is in the match, but I don't really want to make a big point of it. So this is where Asuka gets eliminated by Jordynne Grace, before Io and Dakota lay her out and give her some mean stomps, just trying to do anything they can to slow her down. Raquel Rodriguez is also eliminated at this point, by Bianca Belair. And maybe it's a moment where Liv Morgan, could have saved her, but she decides not to. Just to show that Liv is selfish and she really only cares about herself. Number 28 is Naomi. And I thought about doing some Jade Cargill stuff here, like maybe Naomi's attacked backstage or something, but I ultimately decided against it as I just have no idea where that storyline is going, and I would honestly just rather not include it. The ring has gotten pretty full, so next at 29 is Nia Jax, and she asserts her dominance by throwing out Natalya, Mia Yim, Ivy Nile, and Dakota Kai. Nia just wrecks shop and throws everyone out who's really not that important if we're being honest. Candice LeRae is also helping Nia during all of this, but she's eventually eliminated by Charlotte Flair, who stands face to face with Nia Jax. The two women then have a shoot fight in the middle of the ring, while everyone around them just looks sort of confused. Nah, just kidding. They just have a little stare down while the clock ticks down for the final entrant. It's Becky Lynch. We have just 9 women left, and the match is absolutely stacked. Every woman in this ring has a real chance to win the Royal Rumble. Well, except Liv Morgan. She gets thrown out by Becky Lynch. Oh, and also Naomi. She gets thrown out by Jordynne Grace. Now, every woman in the ring has a real chance to win the Royal Rumble. Bianca Belair is unfortunately eliminated next. Look, I love Bianca, but even I can't really come up with a good Mania plan for her. Again, maybe Jade Cargill comes out and eliminates her before, putting her through the announce table or something like that, but I just don't know. For this booking's sake, we'll just have Charlotte eliminate her. We are now at the final 6, and this is when everyone in the ring realizes that they need to get rid of Nia Jax. Io tries, but Nia swats her away like a fly. Bayley tries, but she gets a big boot to the face. Charlotte and Becky try, but even they get run over. This leaves just Jordynne Grace, and it takes all the power and all the energy that she has left to pick up Nia and single-handedly throw her out of the match. Jordynne rests on the ropes, absolutely exhausted, and this is when Becky and Charlotte sneak up and throw her out, leaving us with just 4 women. Before we talk about the final 4, phenomenal showing by Jordynne Grace. She entered at number 4 and ended up with 6 eliminations. I see big things for Jordynne Grace in WWE, and it literally took 2 of the biggest returning names of all time working together to eliminate her. Speaking of these returning names, after eliminating Jordynne Grace, Becky and Charlotte look at each other for a moment, and they come to an understanding. They look across the ring at Bayley and Io and slowly walk towards them. Bayley tries to reason with them, but deep down she has always known that she was the odd woman out. No matter how much Becky and Charlotte fought or even hated each other at times, they always put themselves ahead of Bayley. Bayley and Io finally look at each other. They have just as much history as the other women, and we teased it earlier, but here they put their differences aside and team up one more time. Now, I would really like to see, like a badass 10-minute tag team match here. I love when Royal Rumbles have a mini match at the end, but instead of doing it with the final 2, I want to do it with the final 4. Unfortunately for Bayley, she is the first to be eliminated, leaving Io alone with 2 of the best of all time. And this is where things get tricky, so I actually want to talk this out a little bit. I really don't know what Charlotte and Becky are doing at WrestleMania. I would love to see either of them face Jordynne Grace, but let's say that doesn't happen. Maybe Grace gets sent to NXT first. My mind has been dead set on Rhea vs. Io at Mania, but what if WWE has a different idea? What if we get Rhea vs. Charlotte vs. Becky? Maybe even throw Bayley in there. I mean, we definitely planted the seeds for it. That is a massive match that could even main event WrestleMania. But where does that leave Io? To be honest, I don't think Io is as high on WWE's priority list as Charlotte and Becky. But for this match, for my fantasy booking, we are going to have Io win. I know having Io single-handedly eliminate Charlotte and Becky is a little crazy, so maybe as Charlotte and Becky are, beating down Io, they start to argue with each other, and this allows Io to get the upper hand. I know it's a tired trope, we've seen it multiple times, but I really wouldn't mind it. So Io wins the Royal Rumble, but even with Io winning, it doesn't take away what we just discussed. Io could choose to face Tiffany, and we could still get Rhea vs. Becky vs. Charlotte. Or Io could even choose Rhea, and then we get Tiffany vs. Becky vs. Charlotte. There are just so many options, and I really believe that having Io win gives us the most leeway to explore all these options. Anyways, that's how I would book the Women's Royal Rumble. I'm gonna be honest, I am way more proud of this booking than my Men's Rumble. I just feel like I included so many more storyline threads and laid the groundwork for future storylines. I'm just really proud of it, but what do you think? Did you hate it? If you did, don't just comment I hated it. Let me know why, and let me know what you would do different. I would love to hear what you guys think.
I'm gonna tear up the fucking dance floor, dude. Check it out.